Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and I just crop dusted the hell out of myself. Please kill me. But we're taking a look at the last thing that Gen Knives sent me, and they're the first guys to send me anything for review. And if you haven't checked this out before, I've done some videos. There's a playlist, but they sent me originally the Captain Knife Kit. And this is a kit knife. It comes with all the parts you need. It comes with pivot lube. It comes with T6 and T8 drivers. Like, it's got all the things in it. And it's spectacular value for the money. This is a D2 blade that took about 4 hours of cardboard cutting, like nonstop, and still held onto its edge quite respectably. So this thing, there should be a discount code for it, 10 Knives IG. I'll throw it in the description in case you want to check this out. But this thing is stellar. It surprised the hell out of me. I thought it'd be alright, but it exceeded expectations by quite a bit. But they also sent me 2 of their G10 knife kits, and it's a knife kit with a G10 blade for kids and stuff like that, and great for teaching safety. Like, it's got its uses. And they're also just really cool. I like the idea of the kit knives, and I like how they've executed these things. I've seen other kit knives online, but none of them look quite as nice as this does overall. I know the Evil Knievel scales won't do it for everybody. I personally happen to dig it. And they should be making more stuff with different scales and different prints on them and stuff like that. So hopefully we see that sometime soon. I'm looking forward to it. But let's get into this one. So in the kit, you got your instructions right here. You got a sheet of stickers. And the stickers just make my inner 6-year-old really happy. These are just a nice touch. You got your scales, you got your blade, you got your backspacer, you got a T8 driver, you got your bag of bits and pieces, you got a little inlay right here, and let's get this out of here. You get some pivot lube, and this is enough pivot lube to handle quite a few knives. Like, a little goes a long way, and that's enough to go a very long way. So let's get the parts out real quick. You got scale. You got scale with the steel liner and the lock on it. Right here. We got the little earth inlay. We got the blade. We got the backspacer. We got the T8 driver. And, like, I've gotten the T8 and the T6 in the first kit. Another T8 from the last G10 kit I put together in this one. And I really like these drivers. They're magnetized, and they work really good. And then they give you 2 bags of these parts. So this is going in the knife parts box. This got bearings and washers and pivot screws and all that. So that could come in handy later, should I decide to mess with some other knives. But let's go ahead and get the bits and pieces out. And these little bags are always really fiddly for me. Come on, do my bidding. Do my bidding. There we are. Alright, so there's all your partses. Stop rolling. And we're going to go into the instruction book right here. And first off, you've got a list, or a picture of the parts. You got your parts list right here. And then we go into the instructions. Step 1, separate all the screw sets. They're right here ready to rock and roll. And it wants you to insert the female side of your pivot screw and your 2 spacer screws into the back of the side with the scale on it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And this thing's a little easier to do if you take the scale out and you send the pivot screw home and get an approximate location of the flat spot, the key on there. And then plop the scale on, because it is held captive by a flat spot right here. And that makes life a little bit easier on these. Let's go ahead and get the spacers on. And it shows you exactly where these things go. All right, last one. We're going to send this guy home. All right, so we'll go on to step 3 right here. And that is dropping the stainless steel liner in here, which I've already gotten. And then we'll add 1 ball bearing to the pivot screw, and it shows you which side it wants facing up. So it wants that side facing up. And then we'll drop one of our washers on here. And then we're going to put the stop pin in. Let's see, where'd that guy go? Ah, that's the fun part. Like, make sure you got a dead flat surface to work on. And then we're putting a washer over the, let's see. Yeah, we're putting a ball bearing or a washer on top of the bearing. Sorry, I had to parse for a second. So there's our washer. And then we'll put the blade on the pivot screw. And then, yeah, we got the back spacer right here that goes on these screws right here. So there's your back spacer. Next stop, it wants the next washer on top of the pivot. And then we're going to put the ball bearing on there. And then it wants our last washer right here. Sorry, words are hard. And so that's got that put together. And then we're going to drop the other scale on here. And those washers are there so that the bearing has something to ride on and not just raw G10. And then add all the male screws and tighten those up. Yeah. I almost lost that, guys. These little tiny fiddly bits are so annoying because I've got large hands and my vision ain't the best. We're gonna get this, guys. We're gonna get this. We can do this. Just gotta believe. My hands are shaking more than normal today. All right, one last male screw. That's going to go in right here. And let's go on to step 9. It wants you to place the earth inlay in here. So we're going to plop that in. I'm going to line it up to make me happy, which that looks pretty good right there. And congratulations, you made it. Open and close the knife to make sure it opens and closes smoothly, which it does. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of pivot lube in here just because I can and I have it. But yeah, I mean, you've built the whole kit. You've seen how a liner lock works now. Like, you got all the things, and the liner lock works. And of course, this is a G10 blade. It's very dull. Let's do the cut test. Yeah, like, it's dull. Now, you could probably puncture with it, and this would be good for popping tape off of boxes, but this is definitely aimed for people that are learning their knife safety, or you don't want to have a sharp blade, but you want to get them started. This is a great place to go. And I really like the way they've got this stuff printed on the scales. You know, I like things like this, and I'm hoping whenever they start making more stuff, we get kits with steel blades that have scales like this on it. Just a bunch of different themes, even if it's just buying the scales, but something. You know, they've also got a Christmas knife kit with the G10, and they got a red, white, and blue one that's kind of like layers of red, white, and blue, which those are lined up for a giveaway. I've got the lockback version and another one of these in a different pattern ready for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you're checking this out and you haven't subscribed and you like what you're seeing here, please sub. We're on our way to 1,000 and we're on our way to our first giveaway, so I would love it if you subbed. And I like how some of these, like, make sure all your fingers are out of the way of the sharp edges when closing the knife. I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's got a maintenance guide, so if you're not familiar with that, this gives you a real basic on it. And then you got your limited warranty, and yeah. So this thing is definitely cool. It's straightforward to put together. The instructions will take care of you and get you where you want to go. And, you know, the liner lock works, the flipper tab works, the detent works. You know, I like the whole thing here. And yeah, so I'm going to put this in the collection. It's going to sit until I figure out something else to do with it. But all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. You're still coming in constantly, and I really appreciate it. And again, we're on our way to that first 1,000. And once we hit that, we got one of my favorite budget knives ever to give away. 2 different G10 knife kits. And we're going to have a great time with it. Comments, let me know what you think about this. The guys that picked up the Gen knife kit, share some experience with that, especially for the guys that are reading these comments and don't have one yet. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.